Welcome back, guys, to another episode of A.N. Fishing. Today we're going to be talking about how to find fish on your depth charts, your paper ones, the ones you find online, how to find fish on them, and how to catch more. Stay tuned for another episode of A.N. Fishing. What's up, guys? So, in this series, we're going to start off with lake trout, and we're going to figure out how you guys can use a chart, your depth chart, to find more fish, and how these contour lines can change where you're fishing, and it can change how you're catching fish. So let's get to it. So if you can see, I have my mouse arrow right there. So the first part I'm going to talk about on this contour map, where you're going to want to target for lake trout, is this point right here. If you have a point like this where it comes out from a main flat and it comes into a little choke down area where it's narrow, not too big, and then it has some steep drop-offs on the side, you want to fish right in this area for lake trout. You're asking why. If you look at that, why do you think lake trout are going to like that area more? My reason and my success that I found with areas like this for lake trout is that when they come out of the main flat, they're pushing the bait fish, and they're pushing them into a small area where it drops off, where they can get them easy and trap them so they can easily feed on them. That's one point you want to focus on when you're lake trout fishing, because you'll have more success in areas like this. Here's another good example right here of an area where you can fish for lake trout and you'll have more success. So when you're fishing for lake trout, you're going to want to find steep drop-off areas. This isn't too steep, but it's pretty steep enough where it goes off from under 20 feet to 80 feet in a quick area. And I recommend fishing an area like this for lake trout because you'll have more success than fishing out in a normal flat. You may have more success in a normal flat for smaller fish, but when you're looking for bigger fish, you want to find a drop-off area quick and area with this choke point. So the third place I'm going to show you. The third place I recommend targeting when you're fishing for lake trout is areas like this. So right here, where the mouse arrow is a hump. So all around it, it's pretty deep. So why fish a hump? Because a lot of time when the lake trout are trying to feed, they want to push the smelt, whatever they're foraging on, up to a place where they can stop and get a quick snack. Because as you see right here, it's 80, 60, 40, 20, pretty quick. And most of the spots all around here are about 60 feet or 70 feet. And the fish can push up on there, and it's a great place for them to forage. Another spot is right here. See these little areas where you have these sharp contours? That's another great place to target lake trout because they can push the bait fish right up in it. It's a lot better to fish these areas than a normal flat most of the time because you can find bigger fish in them. When you're fishing flats, you're going to find smaller fish, but you may catch more. But when you fish all these different contour lines, like I said, you're going to catch more, you're going to catch less fish, but you're going to catch bigger fish. So go try. You guys may be wondering, what kind of bait do I use when I'm trying to target lake trout? So what I recommend when smelt's not available is you use a sucker, you use a small to medium shiner, works great, and you could always use hunts. And if you're fishing lake that has smelt in it, I recommend start jigging for smelt. Once you catch a couple, throw it on your tip up. Why throw it on your tip up? Because smelt is a natural forage for most lake trout, most lakes. And a lot of places you can't transport smelt, so you just use it in the lake that you catch it in. So always follow your regulations, and thank you for watching another episode of A.N. Fishing.